Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this second Spumvlog of mine. Hopefully the lighting's a little bit better than it was on the last one. That was actually the first vlog that I'd ever done. So it's actually, I think, even one of the first, real video session recording things I did. So I learned a little bit of it. Hopefully you can see my face a little bit better this time. But I want to talk about some things. First of all, I've gotten a great response from the Battlefield 3 clip videos, so that's good. A lot of people really like what I'm probably going to call cordially from here on out as the emote commentary, and I have a lot of fun doing it. It pretty much magnifies the emotions that I'm actually feeling. You know, if you just watch someone when they're doing that stuff, they're sitting there going, ah, fuck. But then when you're actually playing, you're, feeling those emotions. So I had a lot of fun with doing that. You can expect a lot more of those things in the future. But I got some things to talk about Battlefield and Terraria. The first problem I'm having with Terraria is that it does not necessarily say anywhere on their website or on the internet that that YouTube people have permission to post footage of their game. Now, with Minecraft, they have a website up, and under their terms and conditions, it says quite clearly, you can post this stuff, you can even put ads on those videos, just don't, give us credit. Say it's Minecraft, don't take whatever and claim it as your own, which people love doing, and YouTube was one of the biggest reasons that Minecraft became such a strong community, and as big as it was. Unfortunately, I think a lot of other game developers don't quite grasp the strength of YouTube. Especially Terraria. It's a fairly small game. I think it's actually sold over 1 million copies now, but it's still, I think, just made by 2 people. Maybe, don't hold me to that, I don't know the details exactly, but it's still relatively small. It's not made by, a gaming studio, so they don't really think about this sort of thing, because it doesn't directly affect their profits. But the problem with that is they haven't given anyone permission to post Terraria footage. Now, you're probably saying what everyone else is thinking right now, which is, well, why don't you just do it anyway? I mean, everyone does it and no one's getting shut down. The problem with that is that you're probably thinking of mainly bigger YouTubers, and they're part of a network, and I don't know the exact details on this, but being part of a YouTube network such as Machinima or Curse or Makers, etc., any one of the big networks actually gives you special copyright permissions. Like I said, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if it's within YouTube or the network or the publishing companies, but essentially they can do what normal individual people can't. Now, I have issues with joining a network personally because I'm terrified of content control. I want to have full control over what I put up. I don't want someone telling me what type of videos to make or how I should be talking, what I should be saying, stuff like that. So I'm always, starting now, I'm always going to be shopping around for a new network. I got a few on my old channel. I got a few network offers from people, but I never really did it. I never really looked into them too much because I didn't know what being part of a network entailed, and I didn't really see the benefit of it at the time. I'm starting to now. There's some other things. I guess they can give you a little bit more money based on certain scenarios. I've been reading up a lot about YouTube networks. I've actually got, I think I'll put on this video right now a link to Freddie W's blog that he put up, and he goes into a lot of detail about networks, and that taught me a lot. So that's what's going on with Terraria. As far as Battlefield goes, I have emailed the person, because Battlefield didn't do this either, and they actually know. They had that video contest called, Only in Battlefield, so they know the power of YouTube, but the problem is they're still a fairly big company, and I think they are just sort of afraid that someone's gonna be using some sort of loophole in the system. So I sent them an email, and they gave me a response that essentially said, we can't, give blanket permissions to people to post this footage, but, we have told YouTube that we don't care as long as people aren't defaming us. So I went ahead and sent that to YouTube, and we'll see how they feel about that. A big myth when it comes to getting permissions, well, a few myths when it comes to getting permissions for your videos is, one, if you say, I don't own the rights to this other person does, I'm just posting a video, it doesn't mean dick. It does not do a goddamn thing. You may as well not have that there, no one cares. Another myth is that they only care if you monetize the video. Again, they don't care. There's actually very, very little difference between a monetized gameplay video and a non-monetized gameplay video. If you're doing something educational, then you can be non-monetized and call it fair use. That'll be educational, not for profit. However, if it's not educational, then it doesn't have to be not for profit. This mainly, the reason this applies is for people like videos or movies and music, which is they don't want people distributing what they've made to potentially millions of people for free. So they don't really care if you have ads on your stuff or not. They just care whether or not you have the actual permission to be showing it to a bunch of people. So that's my little lesson on copyright permissions on YouTube for the day. There's a couple more things. I'm gonna be writing a more defined schedule because I've came actually from the Freddie Wong article. I would listen to him if anyone is trying to be a big YouTuber out there or trying to get more fame than they are. He's got a really good blog about how to, take it to the next level, which is obviously what I'm doing here. And one of those things is that in order to capture subscribers, you need to have people want to come back to your channel for something. Just having a bunch of views does not mean having a bunch of subscribers. If you have a viral video with 65 million hits on it, but you only have 4 videos, and you can see this if you look at the owners of viral videos, you look at their channel and they'll have like, maybe a couple hundred subscribers out of millions upon millions of views, and that's a horrible turnover rate. Pretty much anyone who is a professional YouTuber, a lot of their traffic comes from repeated viewers, which is subscribers, and people subscribe because they want to see what you have to offer in the future. So that being said, what I'm going to start doing is making a more defined schedule. I haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to be doing yet, and I'll be talking about that in a moment. But for the most part, I'm going to be categorizing the different games I have into shows, essentially. So I want to sort of have like my primary show, which would be Terraformer right now. That's the one I put a lot of work into. My secondary, which at the moment is Terraria, but if I can't get permissions to post those videos, I don't know how much long that will last. And then I'll probably have, what else do I have on here? I got a whole list. I don't know if you guys can see this. But essentially, the idea is I want to make everything nice and categorized so people know what they're getting themselves into when they subscribe. The last thing I want to talk about is my goddamn computer. It's given me a lot of troubles ever since I got it. It's fancy and new and expensive and state-of-the-art, but the problem is I liken it roughly to owning a spaceship or something else that's super complicated. It's not enough to just own it, like you need to know about it. So for someone who is retarded with hardware like myself, it is a big deal. Currently, the biggest problem I've been having is with not recognizing memory. I have 16 gigs installed, but it only reads 3 of them. But the thing I'm like 99% sure is causing that, based on my some of the reactions I've gotten from people, is that I'm using a 32-bit version of Windows, which sucks. I'm using my old CD, so I'm going to be buying Windows 7 Ultimate, which is cool because I just love spending all that money. And then finally, the reason I was actually able to figure this out is, that's what I wanted to finish this off with, is getting in contact with me. There are lots of ways to do that. My favorite way is Facebook, because whatever you say, it stays there. You can stay on the same thread, and multiple people can be conversing. So I strongly suggest that if you want to talk to me, add me on Facebook, and I talk. If anyone has something legitimate to say, I definitely respawn. If they have a question, I'll answer it, and if they, give me a compliment, I'll most likely thank you. But also I encourage anyone who is, closer to my fan base, get me on Twitter. Force me to talk on Twitter, because I suck at Twittering. It's not part of my natural reaction to just sit at my computer and just plop in my thoughts. So I need people talking to me in order to respond. So I encourage everyone out there to add me to Facebook and Twitter. I really do check that stuff, and you can probably also tell if you look at my videos, I name myself Spumwack, and pretty much everything. So feel free to add me on Steam or Origins. I don't care. I don't necessarily know I'll be able to talk to you on those things, because a lot of times I log in to just get gameplay footage, and I don't want to be, you know, on Steam shift-tabbing to be talking to people all the time. But if we do anything where I get like, or I want to get a bunch of people together, or just feel like playing with some fans, definitely add me, and we'll do something together sometime. Anyways, I think that just about concludes this video. Now I gotta start taking off. Later, guys.